And now we've come upstairs to the office area. See the progress on that. Here's our seminar room for training. See all the drywall is essentially up. In this portion they got the wire hanging down for the drop ceiling. They're doing the finished work on the kitchen board. All the mechanical ducts are hanging, waiting for the drop ceiling to be installed. Continue on through. See lots of gypsum board going up. Here we're at a point where we can look down onto the ice sheet. You can see that the glass that we have here is a fire-rated glass. That's the reason for the wire. Hopefully we can get past that so it doesn't mess up our focus. You see the ice has been fully painted, lined. The Planet Ice logo's in place. We'll get some more video down closer on the ice sheet. We're in the front section of the office area. The grid for the drop ceiling's been put in, and the walls have been somewhat painted already. I think they've got a first coat on them. I'll go back downstairs in the core and see the progression that we've got there. Outside, the finished work's continuing on the building. You can see the canopy is almost fully installed, and they're continuing with the drive-up. You can see the color variations there. They're not completely done with that. The front entranceway area. Now we'll go inside to the core. These columns will have round covers or facades over them to make them look more attractive. See the lighting system that we have underneath the canopy. And then we enter into the glass doors, which will have the etched glass look of the Planet Ice logo all over them. Here we are right inside the core area. The painting's continuing, the finished work is essentially continuing. You can see here, looking up at the ceiling, the textured paint's been applied, and the joints between the precast planks have been caulked before it was texture painted. The indirect lighting cove has been fully installed. It's backled. They just have to do a little bit more finish work on it, and then that'll be painted red. The white's been basically painted all over the block with the two-part epoxy, and some of the blue's already been installed as well, as you can see here. Here we're looking into the pro shop area. Going into the pro shop area, we can see lighting system going in. Now you can see how that conduit jumps out. That's got to be painted. There was a coordination problem with that. The conduit should have been put in before the texture paint was applied. So we'll have to come back and try to dress that up and hide that for appearance reasons. The pull-down door has been installed, and I'll pull that down here in just a second so you can see what type of door we use. Well, it's got that taped right now, but basically it's an open chain type door, very much like they use in retail in a mall setting to close off a mall store. Here you can see the doors. And just about all of them have been covered with polyethylene, where the hardware is taken off. A sheet of polyethylene material is put on, color coordinated to the color scheme. And the reason for that is to eliminate any door maintenance whatsoever. We use a self-drilling, self-tapping, recessed screw head for that. And this will eliminate the doors from getting dented or scratched over their useful life and keep the door looking nice. Here we have bathrooms. Here will be the water fountain. And let me show you this. This is the men's room here. So this was a design mistake. You can see how when you look in here, you can actually see right into the urinal area. Now it's going to be a problem. We're going to end up having to put doors on the bathrooms when the original design didn't call for that. So watch your lines of sight very carefully. Something an easy mistake to make. We made it here. Here we're looking into the skate rental room. You see we wrap the color around. On here will be a counter that'll have a rubber flooring covering. We don't want to put a Formica where the rental skate counters are. The same token, we also have the same roll-down type doors. Now these are solid doors. These aren't the open ones, and the reason for that is this is not a retail area that we need to have the open mesh type of pull-down doors. So we have two counters here, 1 and 2. Inside there will be the skate racks for the rental skate room. Looking in, again coming on down to where our concession room will be. You see the indirect cove lighting. You can see the 45 with a gypsum board on an angle. The reason we have that way is all the mechanical that's required for the bathrooms and the arcade area is concealed by putting that 45 up. Our doors that actually lead into the rink. Now you can see these are real high doors. These are 8-foot high doors. They were special order doors. And on top of that, where the drywall is shown right now unpainted, there'll be a set of windows that go in there. So it'll be a very open effect going into the skating rink area. Our counter for the concession is starting. See that? And for our concession prep areas and refrigerated storage areas. On top, the cove is broke right there, and the reason for that is that's an exhaust vent for the hood that'll go over the grills and fryers, and that goes the whole way up to the roof with a 2-hour fire rating around it. Our painters continue. On this side, this is our push out, where we have more arcade games and more seating areas internally for more floor space that we didn't anticipate that we needed with the original floor plan layout, but as we got into construction we found we needed. See here? Ceiling drywall. That's for the fire rating that we need. And then we brought the ceiling down so we match the other side as far as appearance. Leonard, how do we handle that conduit in the pro shop area? The painter's not very happy because they didn't coordinate that portion of the work. Here we're going back in. Excuse me a second, let me do this. Here we have more plastic on the doors. Now we're going to go back in towards where the hallway is. And they've been concentrating from the rubber flooring standpoint. Putting all the rubber flooring into the locker room first so we can get the hockey going, which is going right now. You can see one of the concepts that we have is we have different colors for the locker rooms. The very first one, black and white, is the ref room and would also play for the women's locker room. And depending on what color locker room, we have a different colored light. Now this is all the rubber flooring. It's quite dirty because of the construction traffic. Pardon me? Here as we go into the ref room, you can see how the rubber flooring was done in this room. The seating still has to be put in. And this room probably has more mechanical in it than any of the others, unfortunately, and we're going to put faces over. Because we have masonry walls and we have the snack bar right on the other side, by nature we had to do something of that nature. Here we're into locker rooms, bathrooms. See the covering, the protective covering for the shower assembly still hasn't even been taken off. Rubber flooring's down. We have a curb. Those curbs are going to be painted blue with a nice yellow stripe on the top of them to avoid people from tripping over them. The hardware that we use in the bathrooms is all solid plastic material. And the reason we went with that was to avoid cleaning, denting, and those hassles associated with a baked enamel type installation. The mirror, hey, look at that. The mirror is a stainless steel, unbreakable type mirror. You can hear the sound of it. That's not glass, it's just a highly polished piece of stainless steel, so it'll be impossible for the hockey players to break it. Soap dispenser, towel rack. Now, the scope of work for the people who put the plumbing fixtures in included a soap dispenser and towel rack, and unfortunately we didn't realize that all of those items can be gotten totally for free. So I would encourage anybody not to spend money for those type of items when the people who supply you with the replacement supplies will provide all the dispensers for free. The same thing takes place for the toilet area, that these items can be provided for free and shouldn't be purchased through the subcontractor. All the toilets in the locker rooms have to be ADA capable. That's why you see the handrails and the extra wide width that a handicapped individual can get in there. Okay, let's go back out into the hallway here. And we'll continue on down. Now let me show something else too. One of the things you can see, we put the same polyethylene on the doors going into the locker rooms. Hardware is all push-pull, deadbolt type arrangements, and we have the white, black, and that's all just flush between each other. So we're trying to theme the facility as much as possible. Inside here, we'll be putting stick racks. We have a drop ceiling up. We'll put a series of flags in this area from the NHL, which you'll see later on, and you'll see some of them in the rink area. Here we come on down to the green room, and we run into the green door. Oops. And this one's being used. We themed every floor with green, put a star in the middle to break it up. All the light, heater, exhaust fan in the room are run by a motion sensor. There's a picture of the motion sensor. The motion sensor is at a real high location, so the hockey players can't hit it with their hockey stick and damage it. We're still missing benches and clothing racks in this room yet. And then we go into a gang bathroom shower arrangement. And as you can see, we run into another door that's light blue, which represents the blue room. Shower fixtures, floor, still missing the curving, being painted dark blue with the yellow stripes that I talked about. Floor drain underneath the rubber flooring. Holes are actually drilled right through the rubber. Urinal. And coming back into the blue room. We get into the blue room, same thing as themed. We can see what locker room we need to go into just by the color of the doors. We had a water jet cut out stars for the 7 rooms to help break out the flooring. Then we put the benches in, and we're going to put some color stripes on top with some flags in here as well to break up the room. Each room is controlled by its own individual motion control. Again, when we come back here, and we'll look up, and right there is the motion sensor. Same thing shown as the other side. Now, when you select your light fixture with the motion control, you have to be real careful what voltage. You want to make sure that you have a 110 volt control circuit or operation of the fan and lights. And you can see the heater that we're using. Forced air, oversized so it can be very responsive, because when we do not use the locker rooms, we have the heat essentially go off because it's in a core area. We're still never going to freeze the water pipes in here. So we'll shut everything off, and then when people come in, the lights, the heat, everything comes on right away, and we can heat the room up very, very quickly, and at the same time save energy when the room's not being used. And then we continue down. And our Picassos of rubber flooring are here working, trying to get the rest of the floor done. Here we come into our white room, which we had to use a different color star for the white room. The red room will be the very last one. I'm walking softly, so not to disturb the rubber floor. Okay, here we go. Now we go into the red room. Still working. Red doors, white star, floor panel. When you order the hardware, if you're going to do what we're doing with the hollow metal doors, You need to let the hardware people know that you're adding 1/4 of an inch thickness on both sides of the door. They have to include some special hardware pieces for the locks so they'll be deep enough to still work properly. Of course, in there, that's the refrigeration room and Zamboni room. And we're right into the rink area. From the other rubber installer that the bathrooms are being worked on. Let's go take a look inside the bathroom and see what they did. You see in the main core there's a red line that goes around and we're carrying out with that theme here. Going basically from a light color, red feature strip, dark blue, and that'll be right in front of the sink. And where they're all standing in front of the sink, we have a different color, and the reason for that is to make maintenance easy later on. They've got all the hardware up. I don't know if they have any toilets in there yet. Nope, no toilets in yet. Here we'll have a urinal. And we'll have a urinal.
It does, doesn't it?
Yep, that's good. Oh boy, the smell in here is real nice.
So,
Smells like I got a trap that's not working here.
you know what? No, honestly, I don't know. We cut those off, so there's nothing stuffed in. So
Oh, is that why?
It's open, yeah.
Okay.
'Cause he started setting toilets, after we got those done, but we just.
Oh, that's right. Toilets have the trap in the toilet. It's not in the pipe.
Right.
That's probably why it smells so absolutely great.
Yeah.
The people watching this video can't enjoy the true sensation in here right now. The women's bathrooms, lots and lots and lots of bathrooms. We were commenting just a little bit ago that the bathrooms seem very small. And they seem small because the contractor, when they put this room in, they took the dimension, the thickness of the block out of the room size as opposed to out of the hallway like they should have, and it's squeezed the bathrooms down just slightly more than they should have been. Here what they're doing is they're dry fitting all the rubber flooring first, and then they come back and glue it. Alright, now we're going to walk out into the rink area through our main doors, of which we'll walk out into the solarium area. And the solarium is well under construction at this point. So you hear the solarium going up. There'll be a set of doors here that'll entrance right into the rink area. Give you some idea what the solarium is going to be like. And the purpose for this is there's going to be a big seating area here where it's completely comfortable and warm, but you'll still be completely into the atmosphere. See the AC being used, but if we come over here to the solarium, we've got glass up. Not all the glass isn't quite in yet. But this will have its own heater system, as we can see there. We'll have lights that'll be fitted up along the bulkhead. And we have another heater down in this location. So this will be quite comfortable, and it'll be a great place for the parents and to sit when their kids are playing hockey or figure skating, and it'll be great for public skating as well because all the mood lighting and atmosphere of the rink will shine into this area while still staying warm and letting the rink be cooler for energy efficiency. Out into the rink area itself, you can see the ice sheet's fully down. Open up the door here. We've been using the ice for about 2 weeks now. We've got approximately 200 flags that'll be going up into the ceiling. The flags are very, very economical way to create an international flair and a lot of color in the ceiling. We've probably got about a third to 40% of the flags up in the ceiling right now. We'll have virtually every main country of the world put up in the ceiling. The They don't have all the lights on right now. They probably got 2/3 of them. You can see some of the fixtures that shut off, like right there. The scoreboard's installed. The scoreboard's been installed with pulleys, so if we ever have to do service on it, we can let it down to the ground very easily, as opposed to having to try to have people work on it up in the ceiling. The ductwork for the dehumidification system, we can see that right here, and as you can see right now, it's been painted. And we wanted to paint it to try to hide it. We didn't want to call attention to the ductwork. These are returns. When you come out past the dashboard lining, you can see the ductwork on the other side as well. And the lower ductwork shown here, that's a return for the dehumidification system. And the upper ductwork is for air conditioning and heating to the main core area for the office area. In this location is the service valves and the connection for the headers, which run right across the red line. You can see we have steel plate that's primed. This is all going to be covered by the bleach area. We put backing on the dashes in this location as well for maintenance, and then also more advertising space after the bleachers are in. There'll be seating here for about 400 people, and also storage underneath it. The seating's on a very steep incline and won't have any bad seating on it whatsoever, even though the Solarium's in. You'll be able to completely see through it. You can see that we've installed protective drop netting, which is a monofilament material made out of basically a heavy-duty fishing line. We have a cable that we run right around the top of the glass support, and then we cable tie it, wire tie it, right to the cable. Let me get in focus here. On the top, we have a conduit as well, and that's essentially 1/2-inch electrical conduit, and we tie the top of the netting. That allows us to make ties every so often to the top of the net and still create a very neat appearance to the netting. Now the whole rink, the whole way around, has been netted. Another item that we included was a video screen, and this will be for music videos that we can show during public skating activities, and that's a very heavy-duty vinyl material, nylon reinforced. It's essentially the same material they use to make air structures out of, and one of the air structure companies, Saudi, was kind enough to donate that to us. And we just pulled that con on one end. The hockey puck won't damage that or penetrate it whatsoever. We also have netting back over the players' box areas, which I'll show. We walk around here. Right now we have freestyle skating that we're taking place, and we also have hockey activities. We don't have any public skating yet. That'll be taking place in about a week or two. Walk around this side, on the end of the rink, showing the back of the batterboard systems where they haven't been backed, to a very nice, neat, clean appearance. Here's a good shot to see how the Solarium will be. Netting on the ends is a real good example of how the netting runs on the ends. You see it almost bends in when it's tensioned. The nice thing about that is when a puck hits it, the puck doesn't fall behind the glass. It actually bounces right back into the area of play. We're going to walk over towards the players' box here, so we have just some temporary rubber flooring down at this point. Elevated floor, some temporary flooring, and then our players' benches. Players' benches have been bolted down right now. What will happen is when the permanent rubber flooring goes in, which will be a colored rubber flooring, we'll unbolt the benches and then rebolt the benches right to the top and through the rubber flooring, as opposed to trying to cut the rubber flooring around the benches. It'll make a much neater, more attractive appearance then. Our divider panel, which allows people to walk in, through, and into the boxes all the way over the timekeeper, but at the same token, with this piece of glass up, it prevents the puck from flying off and hitting somebody walking along the boards here. And then also the same thing with the netting. As you can see with the netting, we've brought the netting around back and back behind the players' boxes and up on the wall. And the reason for this was to protect the insulation from damage. And you can see how the netting is on a conduit, the same thing, comes down on an angle. It attaches right at the very top of where the polyethylene plywood backer is in the players' box location. The boards in the boxes have been fully backed, and the reason we did that was to prevent the hockey players from hitting any steel with their skates and creating injury to their skates. We have a shelf installed, and that's for water bottles. This is a nice feature. Walking on through the players' box areas, we get into the penalty area. As you can see with the dashboards have a cushion any place a glass stops, so if somebody gets checked over the boards and run into this, they'll hit a cushion as opposed to hitting the aluminum upright. Here we're in the player's box location. Then we get into the timekeeper's area. The timekeeper's area has a table installed. It's very rigid, supported very well underneath, as you can see. We can have 3, 4, 5 people sit on top of that table and it's not going to break or get bent in any fashion. Scoreboard controller. And all the conduit underneath, which will designed for that. We still have a PA system to put in here, and we still have roll light to hook up to the system. All of that's yet to have taken place yet. 110 volt outlet. Here the glass for the timekeeper's area has speaking portholes in it. This is pretty standard. Big enough to talk through, but not big enough for a puck to go through. And we look at these flags that we did. They're a polyester flag, relatively economical. I know they're under $10 each. And the way the insulation system's been put up, with the angle, the cross-member angle, and the purlins, we just go ahead and wire tie them right to the angles. And what we're doing is we're putting 3x5 foot flags with 5 foot gaps in them, every 10 foot on center across the ring. And each row on the 10 foot spacing is staggered. So the next row that'll go up in between these flags will be off centered. In between the gaps there'll be a flag, and there'll be just basically staggered rows. Now, even though we have a 1 in 12 pitch, we've taken the flags and attached them tight right to the angle, and it hasn't affected the hanging of the flags. They don't hang crooked, and that was a concern that we had when we laid this out. So we have freestyle. How's the ice? Good. Good? Where do you skate at the Warm World too?
Yeah.
How's the ice here? You like it better?
I think it's harder, it's better.
Yeah?
Remember say it's soft ice.
Really?
Two things.
Yes, it's good ice.
Here we're where the projection screen is for the movies. And basically we've just tacked that to a vertical piece of lumber on both sides to pull it taut. The wrinkles that are in this because it was folded, they'll be coming out and we'll actually pull it a little bit more taut and get them out so it's smooth. Here the outside finishes of the building are just being completed with the drive-it. The trailers are being taken off-site, are vacant. We've since moved temporary offices into the complex, as you can see right here.
The diesel mechanic. If I could get out from behind the wheel. What was I going to say?
We are inside the complex. Most of the flags have been put up. You can see the color they add to the facility. Solarium construction is about completed, and we'll be doing the installation of the seating. Also today is orientation for all the part-time employees, so they have an orientation session that we'll visit with today.